Hi guys, this is Hiro. How's everyone doing today? आज वाला केम छो? आज सब कैसे हो? So today I'm going over what to do if you constantly distract yourself, okay? So what we have to understand is that why do we distract ourselves, right? We distract ourselves because there's something in our subconscious that we don't want to deal with, okay? It's either some fears or some expectations not happening the way we want them to. Usually one of these two, right? I just made a video on running away versus and chasing things, right? Two things to be aware of in meditation. This kind of ties into that. There's probably things that you're trying to chase that you don't have yet, that you're distracting yourself from, or that there's things that you're trying to run away from that you're also trying to distract yourself from, right? So if you notice you distract yourself a lot, there's probably some very, very, very big buildup that you don't want to deal with, right? Now, there's two things you can do. You can just continue down this path and continue to let these lower vibrations affect your day-to-day decisions, right? Because it's all in your subconscious, so it's all affecting you. For example, if you have very big insecurity, or you're trying to run away from the fact that you're alone and single and stuff like that, it's going to affect your decision making, right? It's going to make you very insecure in life. It's going to make you do all kinds of decisions that you probably may not would have done if you had a higher level of awareness and consciousness connection, right? So you can continue down the path that you're on, let the subconscious things influence you, and let this problem continue to get worse and worse and worse. Or what you can do is that if you at least recognize that you have a problem with distracting yourself, the goal is not to just become a completely enlightened saint by tomorrow, okay? That is not the goal. What the goal is to reduce the direction that it's going as much as possible. So progress in life, especially spiritually, it's like an upward spiral, okay? There's ups and downs, but it kind of just keeps going up. There might even be like a spiral of a spiral, but it's slowly over time, if you track your progress, it should be going overall in the long term up, okay? So in this situation, right? Let's just say you distract yourself. I'm just going to use points, right? Let's just say you distract yourself a total of 6 points, okay? And last year you distracted yourself 5 points, right? So what you want to do is you basically want to get back. Your goal should be to just get back to 5 points, right? It should not be to just not distract yourself at all, go to zero or negative distraction, right? That's not the point here. The point here is just to try to reduce the rate. Or you can even look at it a different way. Let's just say you're used to distracting yourself more and more. Let's just say last year it was 5 points, the year before it was 4 points, and this year it's 6 points. You notice it's kind of going up a certain amount a year, 1 point a year. So instead of it going up 1 whole point throughout from this summer to next summer, maybe you can just go up half a point, right? To kind of slow down the rate of increase, right? Because baby steps is what's going to last. And then maybe the year after, just not increase your distractions at all. And then you can kind of slowly start reducing, okay? Or you can take this on a month-to-month basis or whatever. But the point is not to just, cut the TV off and cut the social media off right now necessarily all at once. Go cold turkey, that's it, never looking back. You could adopt that as a strategy, very temporary, but just to get going, I guess, but it's not going to work out that great, right? You need to just slowly go in the right direction. And the way to do that, you guessed it, is to increase your awareness, right? So the more you increase your awareness, the more you'll be aware every time you get distracted, and your consciousness will literally, after a certain point, will not let you get distracted. So instead of drowning yourself in TV for the whole day, maybe after just an hour or two, you'll be like, man, I really just don't feel like drowning myself in distractions any longer. Let me get up. Let me do something a little bit more productive, a little bit more fulfilling. Or it can just be just anything besides this. Let me go take a walk or do whatever, right? So that's what we can do when we're distracted. And distractions, there's a whole host of things that fall under the term of distraction, right? We can literally coin anything as a distraction, right? this is why it's important to be aware of what you do, right? In my last video, the one where it's like 2 most important things to be aware of during meditation, I literally described that literally anything you do, there's probably some level of subconscious, like some stuff that you're running away from, fears, or some expectations that you want to come true that are driving everything that you do, right? So literally anything could be a distraction, no matter how fulfilling it is. Visiting family, exercising, whatever. Anything could be a distraction. Now, the point is to not just stop doing everything, right? That's not the point here. The point here is just to be aware of why you're doing the things that you're doing and just detach from those energies as much as possible so that you can do ideally the more fulfilling things possible. Although even those fulfilling things could be rooted out of some lower energy frequencies, and it could be technically coined as distractions, but they're not like as much distractions. It's not as lower energy, right? So we want to ideally make a shift from like severe distractions to more fulfilling things that could also be distractions, okay? I hope that made sense. But yeah, the way to get here is just everything you do, be aware of why you're doing it and be aware of levels beneath that. So let me give you an example. Let's just say I like going to work, okay? I like going to work because it makes, I get paid. I feel busy throughout the day. Let's just start with these 2, right? I meet my coworkers. I like that because it makes me feel, it's not a personal example, right? Just abstract. I like those things because it makes me feel more valuable, and I like to feel valuable so that it makes my ego feel more important, right? So the thing is the root cause, one possible, there's a million things, right? I can keep going down. But one thing that I've identified here is going to work makes my ego feel important, right? So I can detach from that. So I can say, hey, it's okay if I'm not important. It's okay if I'm not high value or valuable, right? Now, this doesn't mean that it's true. I'm just accepting the fear related to that so that I'm no longer doing things to feel high value. Now, going to work, probably this is something you have to do, right? But there's probably other things that you're doing that you're only doing in order to satisfy this fear of possibly wanting to feel high value. Like some of your hobbies or social activities or stuff like that, you're doing it because you want to feel high value. You want to feel included. You want to feel more that upscale kind of vibes that come with doing certain things or hanging around certain people or things like that, okay? So that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you all very, very much for watching.